I'm Ron.
And I'm Claudia. And we came out
to support Tacoma PFLAG.
Tacoma PFLAG.
I came out as a gay man.
I came out as the stepfather of a lesbian teenager.
I came out as a lesbian.
I came out as a gay pastor.
I came out as a proud father of a gay man.
Came out as a lesbian.
I came out as the mother of a bisexual teenager who was assaulted in a gay bashing and committed suicide, and as the wife of a bisexual man.
I came out as a transgender woman.
I came out as bisexual and as a parent of a bisexual son.
I came out as the mom of a lesbian.
I came out as lesbian about, 15 years ago.
So I came out as a dad of a gay son.
So I came out as a mom of a gay son.
I came out as a lesbian.
I came out as the very proud mom of a gay son.
I came out as a gay man.
I came out as the partner of a transgendered woman.
I came out as a transsexual woman.
I came out as a lesbian.
I came out as Rachel's mother, and she's a lesbian.
Coming out is a really big deal for a lot of people. When Ellen DeGeneres came out, it was a really big deal. When Elton John came out, it was a really big deal. When movie stars come out, it's important, it makes the news, but the thing that has truly, in my opinion, driven the LGBT movement is coming out of everyone. Whether you're coming out to your family, or to your minister, or your priest, or your teacher, or your co-workers, it's all of that effort together that has become critically important to gaining the rights that we've gained. I thought it would be a really good idea if we could kind of show some of the diversity of the folks who need to come out, because it's not just LGBT people. Parents have to come out, brothers and sisters have, family members have to come out, friends come out, and it's not always easy for them the first time. Some people lose their community over their child being LGBT. So with this being such an important story, I thought it would be a great time to share how many people have come out in their own way, on their own path, to show that there is a cohesiveness, to show that people want and need to live a truthful life so that they can give everything that they have to their community. If they're still trying to hide an important piece of who they are, then they obviously cannot give at 100% level where they might like to be. But this story is going to show how many kinds of people come out, why they come out, and why it's important.
We came out. I came out after Claudia told me. I came out because I'm in support of my daughter, and we immediately notified all our friends and came out that way.
And I came out for our daughter Kristen because I felt like it was an unauthentic life to not know who she really was. And then I wanted to do support for other people in areas of Tacoma that were coming out and needed straight people to support them. And Kristen gave me a book and told us to go to a PFLAG meeting, which we found one in Tacoma. And we went there and found a lot of people with gay kids that seemed happy.
And we've been going ever since for the last 15 years.
Right, and PFLAG does support for people who are newly out or have their kids come out. They also do education because we didn't know enough about this whole topic. But my passion is for advocacy to make the world a better place for our daughter.
And they promote advocacy a lot through programs we do. We supported gay marriage and other advocacy items like that.
I'm David Strong, Executive Director of AIDS Housing Association of Tacoma and pastor of Spirit of Christ Community Church, an independent Catholic community here in Tacoma, Washington. One night while in a seminary community mass, the gospel was being read by the priest, and in it was the words when Jesus said, "You should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." In that moment, something just sort of snapped inside of me, and I remember saying, and my friend next to me was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I can't talk about it right now." But as he continued to preach, I kept hearing, "You should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." And at that moment, I realized I could no longer be in the closet. I knew that I couldn't live a celibate life as a Roman Catholic priest, and I had to set myself free. But more importantly for me during that moment was the burdens that I felt so heavy on me were gone. And the idea that someone could hold something over me to keep me in the closet was gone. And so I came out to my family. I had to leave seminary, came out to a lot of friends, some who knew, some who didn't. And I will tell you, in the words of Maya Angelou, I wouldn't take nothing for the journey. The good, the bad, and the ugly has all been worth it. I came out because I wanted to live as a Christian who lived in truth and lived in freedom, and now dedicate my life in ministry to serving people like me who may be stuck in all kinds of closets. The closet of fundamentalism, the closet of being rejected for being a woman and put in a role, the closet of being marginalized from the church, that people no longer wanted to be in that closet. I want to provide a ministry and a space where they could come and live their life and know the truth that would set them free.
What was it like for you when you came out as a gay pastor?
That was easier because I'd already been out. Now, for some of my gay friends, they're like, "What? How can you be that? How can you be a Christian and still be gay? Or how can you be gay and think about being a Christian?" And as I explained to them, if it wasn't for my faith, I wouldn't have survived the moments of isolation and loneliness if I didn't have something to lean on. And because I've understood a liberating Christ, I feel that message needs to be shared with others. And so I just built support, and I became active, and I just lived as myself, available to marry, bury, to preach, to teach, but just to be there, people, most of the time just to listen to folks. In Christianity, particularly evangelical and Catholicism and other types of Christianity, Roman Catholicism, there's an emphasis that homosexuality is a sin. In the Roman Church, of course, it's not a sin to be gay, but it's a sin to be active on it. And so you have a range of churches, but one of the things that has been around for the last 50, 60 years are churches that have been accepting of folks who are LGBT and wanting to know that this place is a place of welcome for them and that the kingdom is for them. And one of the comments I've heard mentioned before was that God is love, it says in Scripture. And a bishop named Carl Bean often says, "And love is for everybody." I think churches that could just love people as they are, accept them as they are, invite them into their community will be a place where folks would know that God is love.
I am Lynn Goralski, and I am the center coordinator at the Oasis Youth Center here in Tacoma, Washington. It was important for me to come out because I really could no longer suppress the true person inside of me, and I needed to fully express myself to the world. It was very important to be honest about who I was and no longer pretending who I was, being able to give back that authentic self to the community, and being an example for others. So many went ahead of me and blazed a trail, and that helped make it easier. It wasn't easy, it was easier for me. And I take it as an honor to now be the next one to make it easier for the following generations and for those that are coming behind me with coming out.
It's important that people don't see people as being odd or different or scary. Everybody is a person, and everybody deserves to be seen as a person. And my daughter is a very interesting person, and once you get to know her, you will understand that she's just like a regular person, and she's no scarier than I am. I left my church not because the people who belonged to the church were hateful or mean, but because my church body subscribed to the notion that you love the sinner but not the sin, which meant that we will love the person but we'll kind of ignore their sexuality. We'll ignore the fact that they're homosexual, just don't talk about it. And we're not going to hire anybody that's openly homosexual or they were also doing some things publicly where they were refusing to be associated with helping people who were homosexuals or being involved in organizations who helped everybody simply because those organizations accepted homosexuals as people. So I left and I found a church where everybody is a person, everybody is welcome, everybody is accepted, and everybody is loved just exactly the way they are. I belong to a ladies' knitting group at my new church, and last summer we decided we wanted to do something for a group that we could all focus our energy towards one particular group. And so we knit scarves and hats for Oasis Youth Center. And we spent all summer, we were so excited. We were knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting, and we made, oh goodness, I think we made like 50 scarves and hats. And even people who can knit very well, they still just knit and knit their little hearts out and made all these really awesome, wonderful, warm things for the kids who might not necessarily get anything warm and fuzzy from anybody. And it was really fun. I'm Dodie Ridenauer. I'm a straight Christian ally, and I live in Puyallup, Washington.
I'm Cassie Ridenauer. I'm a teacher at Callis Junior High. I'm the advisor for the GSA there. I'm an out lesbian at the school, and I'm perfectly happy and proud to be so. It was important for me to come out because I'd spent so long in pain, I think, being untrue to myself, because I was in the closet to myself for a really long time. So I had to come out to myself. Then I came out to my friends, new friends at college, because it was safe to be somebody new with them, as opposed to the people that I grew up with. And then I came out to my family because I needed to be honest and to be myself. I was going to a private Christian college. I was studying to become a pastor. For my undergrad, I was studying theology. So I was out to my friends. I wasn't out to my teachers. I wasn't out to my classmates in my program. It was hard enough being the only woman in the program, let alone bucking the system even further by being openly gay in the system. I felt like I could breathe. I felt like I could say what was on my mind. I felt like I could say honestly who I was. I felt like I could talk about what I was thinking who I thought was cute. I didn't have to pretend anymore. I didn't have to pretend, oh yeah, Brad Pitt, he's so hot. I mean, sure, he's cute. He's an attractive human being, but no, I could be like, Angelina Jolie, she's so hot. Nobody would be, it'd be okay, you know, because I was being honest about what my true feelings were. I could be honest about who I wanted to date. I didn't have to pretend anymore. That made dating a hell of a lot easier, because I could be interested in who I wanted to be interested in. It was scary at first, but afterwards everyone that I told was just either completely not surprised or just so didn't care and embraced me just so completely that it was just a relief.
Well, so when our son told us he was gay, we kind of went into the closet because this was way back in the year 2000. And things weren't quite like they are now. We, as parents, really hadn't thought about what it'd be like to have a gay child and didn't really know much about what it means to be gay. And so we had a lot of questions and a lot of learning to do. And after a while through that process, then I think we discovered that there are a lot of people like that. There are a lot of people that don't really know much about homosexuality, what it means to be gay, what it's like to live as a gay person. And that was part of the reason why there was so much anti-gay sentiment, I think. And so for me, I think a strong motivation for coming out to friends, to people I work with, was to try and just tell my story.
When our son told us he was gay, we went into the closet because we didn't know anything. We had a lot of emotions that we were dealing with. We were dealing with grief, we were dealing with fear, a little bit of anger. We just didn't understand. And so we went in the closet because we didn't know what to do. And we were afraid to tell family and friends. We didn't know how they would react. We didn't know how they would treat our son. So we went in the closet for a while until we found PFLAG. And then we went to PFLAG, and it was a blessing to us all. Is a blessing the right word?
Yeah.
It saved us. It educated us. We found family and friends who were going through the same thing we were going through. And we learned so much. And then we came out, and then we told our families and friends, and at that point we were ready to tell people if they didn't accept it, then they would be no longer a part of our lives, because we loved our son, and we didn't want any of that in his life or our lives.
Yeah, I was going to say that you get to a point where you sort of want to draw a line in the sand and discover who's accepting and who's not, and then you make your decisions about friendships from that.
Relationships, yeah, and which are important and which are not. So now we're out and proud of our son and all of our gay friends and family members.
I'm Kevin Housen. I'm on the board of directors of Tacoma PFLAG, and I'm the web lackey.
I'm Brenda Housen, and I'm on the board of directors of Tacoma PFLAG and currently the president.
Well, my coming out story starts when I was about 17 or so, and the first person I had to come out to was myself. The song "I Kissed a Girl," yep, that could have been written about me. So I kissed a girl, I liked it, and it kind of went from there. But as I continued with my coming out, I found that there was more risk in it, and so I was afraid. My friends, I was in college in the 70s, and my friends were not out of the closet. They had no desire to come out of the closet. And so I started realizing that it was a journey that was going to be specifically mine. And I think that that's true for all people. Not everyone gets to come out. Not everyone can come out for whatever reason. Most people can come out at some point, but there is a lot of risk. You risk losing love. You risk losing your family and your friends. Some people risk their faith community. there's a lot of risk involved for LGBT people when they decide to take that step and start living their truth. When I first tried to come out to my mom, I asked her how she would feel if she found out that one of her kids was gay or lesbian, and she told me the same as I would feel as if they told me they were a bank robber or a murderer. So that made it extremely difficult for me. But knowing the type of relationship that I had with my mom and the fact that we had always been honest, open, and loving with each other was very important to me, and I couldn't have a healthy life and live that lie. So I went ahead and came out to my mom. It was a painful experience for her. I don't think she ever came to true acceptance of me. She came to tolerance of me. But true acceptance means that you love your kid like all your other kids. That it doesn't change how you feel. So it hasn't been an easy journey. I also know what it feels like to be outed, and that can be extremely painful and risky. It can be physically risky for someone. My wife and I were outed in Northwest Montana in a local newspaper, and that could put us at risk. We were physically attacked in Montana when we attended the second Gay Pride Festival there. So Montana is not a particularly safe place yet for LGBT people, and that is another reason to just keep coming out. The more of us that are out, the more difficult it is to attack an individual, because about the time you reach for that person that you're going to attack, you have to say to yourself, oh, wait a minute, my brother told me he was gay, my cousin told me he was gay, my sister told me she was gay, my friend told me she was a lesbian. And so how do you put your hands around that friend or sister or brother or child's throat and throttle their life? I'm Shelley Cooper. I'm the PFLAG Tacoma Oasis Youth Center liaison. I'm also on the board of directors at the Washington State PFLAG Council, and I'm vice president of that board.
It was important to me, I would say, because I was living the so-called straight life, or what everybody wanted me to do, for about 27 years. And then I just realized that it was scary, like what's on the other side. But once I went ahead and made the step and accepted myself for who I am and stopped basically living a lie, then, I came out to myself first. And I was in the military, so that added a different challenge to the whole situation. And so I was affected by the don't ask, don't tell policy when my best friend at the time, who was a straight guy, turned me in, which was actually fine because at that point I had already been deployed and I was in a relationship with a guy, and it was miserable. And then when I got back from deployment, I actually got orders to Germany. And so I was like, what am I going to do? Take my roommate with me from America to Germany? That wouldn't work. So at that point, I had to make a decision to either stay in the military or get out. I decided that I wanted to investigate getting out. And I would have to, admit to them that I was gay and all that. So this guy who actually turned me in helped me out by doing that for me. And so I didn't have to do that. So he did that. He turned me in. There was a whole investigation process. I did get out after 1 month shy of 14 years in the Air Force. And now I currently work as a civilian doing the same job. And I don't have to worry about, being deployed and that kind of thing. And currently I'm serving as the vice president of Tacoma PFLAG. And I've been involved with this organization here, I would say, about 10 years.
It was important for me to come out because I needed people to know that my son had lived and that his life was important. And in order to do that, I had to be open about who I was. I came out because Bill, my son, asked me to speak before he was assaulted. He asked me to speak at a Olympia School Board meeting when his high school invited Colonel Greta Kammermeyer to speak for Women's History Month, and people tried to stop her. And the kids at the high school asked parents to come and prevent that from happening. And I had never spoken in public before because I was terrified of it, and Bill asked me to support them, and so I came out as Bill's mother and said I needed people to know that it was important for her to come speak there. And I came out because I'm married to a bisexual man for 42 years, and I had to fight men and women off of him to get him to commit to me, and I think it's important for people to know that that happens. My name is Gabby Clayton, and I'm from Olympia PFLAG.
It was important for me to come out because my son was assaulted in a hate crime and committed suicide. And I had to tell the world that this is not all right. And I couldn't hide after he was out.
I thought it was really important. I don't think that anyone should have to hide who they are because you're never truly free. And it's really important to the rest of the gay community that we all stand up together, because we have every right to be as proud of ourselves as anyone else does, and this is just really who I am. And I think that everyone needs that, has that right, and needs to take that opportunity to be who they are. I'm Jan with Tacoma PFLAG.
I think it was very important that I came out because I'm a soldier, and I work with a lot of mostly conservative folks. When someone who doesn't like the gay community has a friend that comes out, I think it changes how they perceive things and how they relate to people. And I think me coming out, especially at work and around other soldiers, helped some other people understand that, hey, these are people that I know. These are my neighbors. And I think that's why it was important. My name is Jason McCormick, and I am with the Olympia PFLAG chapter.
I had many friends, and I wanted to be out with them. My mom kind of forced me to come out to her, and it was kind of important because I didn't want to keep a secret, and I didn't want to have to live two lives anymore. Everyone kind of already knew. Mom kind of had a little freak out for a little bit, and then she got over it. So yeah, it didn't really change much. Robert Kowalski from Olympia PFLAG.
As Robert mentioned, I had a freak out moment, but I soon realized it wasn't over him being gay. We kind of already knew it. As he mentioned, I kind of forced him out. I knew something was wrong. Watching him dip into depression, and he wasn't communicating with us, and Dad and I, once we were reunited after several months, talked about it, and we always knew. Since he was really little, we had talked about it. He was in diapers, and we had the discussion, what if, how we're gonna handle this. It wasn't so much about him being gay, it really boiled down to the fear factor of how society was gonna accept him and family. I couldn't come out right away at work. I was in the military. That has its own structure. It was difficult. I feared backlash in my career. It took until I was getting ready to retire the last year that I just became more vocal. I would correct people in their language. And I had good outcomes from it, minus a couple supervisors, but overall, you know, I had to correct people, and it felt really good. Just going from day to day, talking about your family with coworkers to not being able to speak as openly. I mean, it wasn't like I could go into work and start talking about Queer Rock Camp and my son's doing all these amazing things, and it hurt inside not being able to talk about him and how proud I was of him anymore. So it did affect me at work. At the time, it wasn't even legal in Washington State for same-sex marriage. So as I put my uniform on each day, oh my goodness, it was kind of hard. I was angry because I was so proud of my career, and I really felt like my job is protecting people and their rights. And my own son couldn't even be married in the state I lived in, so it was rough for a little bit. So now I'm retired, and I don't put on a uniform every day, but I feel like I have a mission and a purpose. So no matter what, I'll run ragged and make sure everybody knows my son's gay and I'm proud of it. So I guess I fit that. No, don't know if you've ever read Urban Dictionary's definition of a P-flag mom, but that's me and I'm proud of it. The overdoting, and I will stand up everywhere and say my son's gay. I'm currently going for my master's degree in human resources, and there's not been a class with a paper or subject that's come up that I haven't been able to write about LGBTQ issues, you know, from recruiting and organizations and them not being able to come out, and also how it's difficult for the straight ally and the parent and family member not be able to be out, and how important that is where they find work and employment. So this has just become my kind of goal and mission. I am Dana McCormick, current president of P-Flag Olympia.
There were some people in my circle that I felt just comfortable with, you know, sharing this new situation. And you know, it wasn't something that I wanted to keep secret for a long time. I think, you know, it's still changing. It's I feel much more relaxed about telling people now than I did initially. I was more careful about who I would tell. I firmly believe that the progress that has been made by this whole LGBTQ community is largely due to the fact of people being honest about themselves or their family situation, and that has just been the key factor all along in expanding understanding and acceptance. It's our duty to love them and to respect what they're really feeling and experiencing. So it just helps to expand consciousness everywhere, to be honest about what your situation is. I still have to do a little reality check every time I am honest with someone about this aspect of my life, and but I feel feel more assertive about it in general, and don't feel reticent or reluctant nearly as much as I probably did 10 years ago. I feel it's my duty to inform people of, you know, this is the reality today, and I'm not going to be quiet about it just because it might kind of knock you askew a little bit to find out that I have a lesbian stepdaughter. We all need to deal with this as really the way it's always been, and it was hidden far too long, you know, for decades. So it's a great time to be alive and to be honest about this whole thing. I'm Larry Cronquist. I'm with PFLAG Olympia, Washington.
I wanted my family to know who I was, the real me. I didn't want to hide anymore. It was affecting my whole life, my mental instability. I was just sad all the time. It meant a lot to be a part of a community that was out there, and I was still in the closet. I wanted to be part of that community and to meet new people and to follow my true path, to have my ah moment, as Oprah would say. I'm Hillary Robbins. I'm from PFLAG Olympia.
I came out as a lesbian when I was 15 years old. Then I got married to a man when I was 24 because it was easier. It was easier to be what everybody else wanted me to be. Then I came out again. I came out as a lesbian because I didn't want to die. I didn't want to be somebody I wasn't. And so I lived. And then I got to come out again. I got to come out as a queer lesbian, a gender non-conforming person who could truly love herself in everything that she was and everyone that she was. And today I couldn't be happier. Today I'm a queer lesbian. And I'm married to a woman who I love dearly and who I can't imagine ever being without. I'm Julie, and I'm with PFLAG, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
I came out because I realized that she was such a blessing, but we were living in a world that wasn't going to see that about her, and I needed to make a difference about that. My name is Kathy Ream, and I'm from PFLAG Skagit, Stanwood. Currently, I'm serving as president of the Washington State Council.
It was important to me to come out because it was the only way I could be free and live my truth openly and honestly.
It's important for me to come out because I was in love with this woman. We are from Tacoma
PFLAG, and we live in Gig Harbor, Washington, and we were married 6 weeks ago. I lead the transgender support group with Tacoma PFLAG.
Downtown Tacoma, Washington. Since we're Tacoma PFLAG, we thought this would be a fitting spot to begin and end our video coming out journey. Tacoma was voted in 2013 by the Advocate magazine as the gayest city in America. The criteria for that were elected officials, marriage equality, transgender and bisexual resource groups. Tacoma PFLAG has played a large role in making Tacoma in 2013 the gayest city in America, and as well as they did a lot of work in the marriage equality fight. So thanks for watching. I hope you'll join us at a meeting, and I hope you got something out of all these stories. Thanks everybody for sharing.
I came out.
I came out.
We came out.
I 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 came out.
We came out.
I 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 came out.
We came out.
I came out.
I came out.
I came out.